The crowds had eaten. The miracle was done. 5,000 fed under the midday sun. Yet as the multitude drifted away, fragments of bread on the ground lay. The disciples saw what others ignored, for the voice of the Master had implored, "Gather the pieces, let none go to waste." A command wrapped in love, not in haste. Each crumb was touched by divine provision, each fragment marked with heaven's precision. For God's abundance does not despise the broken things we leave behind. Are you a fragment, discarded and torn, left behind by others, weathered and worn? Does your soul cry out from the edges of pain, wondering if wholeness can ever remain? Remember the widow who poured her oil, her last reserve from a life of toil. She gave her lack into holy hands, and heaven answered her heart's demands. Or consider Ruth, a Moabite's name, a fragment cast from ancestral shame. Yet in the fields of Boaz, she was seen, and her story became the lineage of a king. In the hands of men, fragments are tossed. In the hands of God, nothing is lost. The broken stone becomes the cornerstone. The cast-off seed becomes the throne. Think of Joseph, a fragment sold, bound in chains yet rich in soul. From a pit to a palace, God made it clear. What men throw away, he draws near. David's sling was a fragment of war, a simple stone, nothing more. But in that fragment, God's power was shown, and a giant fell by what was thrown. The Last Supper beckons, a table divine, with fragments of bread and sips of wine. Take, eat, the Savior said, this broken bread is my body instead. And on the cross, the fragments piled, each lash, each nail, each cruel trial. But from his brokenness, life overflowed, and the fragments of sin were finally atoned. What fragments do you carry today? Dreams delayed or hopes gone astray? Do you feel unworthy, too broken, too small, to be of use in God's great call? Take heart, for he sees each piece of your pain, the hidden scars you try to contain. He gathers your tears in heavenly jars and turns them to light like radiant stars. The marriage in shambles, the loss too great, the prayers unanswered, the cruel twist of fate. In his hands, your fragments become the song, a melody of grace where you belong. Like the baskets filled on that sacred day, God's abundance will not delay. For where we see lack, he sees overflow, and through our brokenness, his glory shows. The fragments gathered tell a story of lives redeemed for heaven's glory. Every piece holds sacred worth, a testament of love's rebirth. So when you feel shattered, torn apart, remember the one who mends the heart. He gathers the fragments you've left behind, and in his hands, purpose aligns. The God of the fragments, the Savior of all, turns brokenness into his holy call. No piece too small, no life too far. For in his hands, we are who we are. Let him gather the fragments. Let him begin to show you the masterpiece hidden within.